So here I have one of the Gen 3 Light O Rama residential controllers. One thing that's important to do is these can loosen up over time. So it's a good idea to provide extensions on there with some sort of strain relief. There's not enough room down here to put 2 of the gasketed land ones. So what I did was I went to Home Depot and bought these strain relief screw-on things. They're in the electrical section, but they're meant for conduit, but they work right here. First thing you need to do is pop this guy out. You will have to take a die grinder like the one here and widen that up a little bit, just enough to get the threads through. This is about the same size as a 3/4 inch connector minus the threads, or a fraction of the thread, so you really just have to wallow out maybe a 1/16 of an inch to an 1/8 of an inch around the top, and it fits just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get busy doing that. I'm going to be back in just a second. I took just enough of that aluminum out to be able to get this guy in here. The way that you tighten these up is you take a flathead screwdriver, you stick it in the notch, and then you can just pound it. I just pounded the end with my fist to tighten it down. Just snug enough that it's not going to rock back and forth. And then I got this end with the screws over here. I like to put it on the inside so then we don't have to fight these guys. They're easier to tighten that way because it doesn't have to be at an angle. And it gives you a little bit of more room to have the female portions of the Ethernet cable extensions right there. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down, and then I'll show you the Ethernet extensions. Ethernet extensions I got are from Wired Watts. I think they were between $1 or $2 a piece, so that's not too bad. So it has the male port on this side, female port on this side. One thing that I did so that the strain relief wouldn't crush the Ethernet cable when I tightened it down was I got some of this just clear vinyl tubing from Lowe's, I believe. And it is the 1.25 inner diameter. And then I just cut it into sections, cut a slit in them, and then fed it around the Ethernet cable like that, so that way it crushes this, clamps down on this, and doesn't hurt the cable. This is probably just like an inch long section, and it hasn't pinched the cable at all, so that's worked out pretty well. I got the first one installed here, just ran the male end through here up into the jack, and then I'll go ahead and get the second one in there and tidy up the cables, and I'll show you how I did that. So then after I added the second one, I tightened these down just snug on both sides. They don't have to be cranked all the way down. Then looped up the extra cable there, added a couple of zip ties just to tidy everything up. It leaves you just enough room to be able to get a Cat 5 cable snaked up through here and into these 2 guys here. And then if I tug on them, I can't pull them. So that will provide great strain relief for those ports. I like having the extra cable here. I left a little slack in here so that when these get pushed down, these still don't have anything pushing on them too much when the door closes. And then it works out quite nicely. You do still have to open the door up to be able to hook these up, just because there's not a real good way unless you want to go out the sides or the front of the door to be able to put the glands in there. But takes maybe about 5 minutes for each one of these. Overall not too bad.